I've made a lot of mistakes in my life. I've doubted myself, I've missed out on opportunities, and in hindsight, made some really dumb decisions. And I'll probably make a lot more. But there are a few lessons I've learned along the way, things that have improved my happiness, my confidence, and my overall well-being. My life would have been a whole lot easier if I'd learned these earlier, so sit back, relax. Here are 5 lessons that changed my life. Oh, sorry. I made some for you too. Comparison is the thief of joy. I think that overall I'm a pretty happy person, and I'm super grateful for the life I have. But there are definitely bad days. Usually it's when I'm spending too much time alone, maybe it's a Friday night and I've got nothing going on, and in that vulnerable state, I'm ripe for the picking. All it takes is a quick glance at Instagram, and the snowball starts rolling. I see everyone I've ever met having the time of their life, going to concerts, traveling to new countries, getting a new degree, proposing. They're all experiencing the best moments of their lives. Meanwhile, I just got ketchup all over my shirt. One of my favorite books of all time is called The Subtle Art of Not Giving a F***. It's definitely not for everyone, but one of my favorite points the author brings up is that there is a ridiculous amount of information flowing past us every day. The only zeros and ones that break through and catch our attention are the truly exceptional pieces of information, those in the 99th percentile. All day, every day, we're flooded with the truly extraordinary, the best of the best. This flood of extreme information has conditioned us to believe that exceptionalism is the new normal. And most of the time, I don't really care. But sometimes I'll see some 18-year-old who makes better videos than me, someone my age making more money than me. It's an endless list of people who've achieved all the things I want in life, and I'd be lying if I said it didn't leave me insecure, doubting myself, and feeling like a failure. I have to remind myself that I've had some big wins too, and I'm making progress every day. So if you ever find yourself falling into this trap, uninstall everything, you're not crazy, focus on yourself. It's just a weird time to be alive. Which goes nicely into another lesson I've learned, which is that nobody cares what you do. At least not really. One of my biggest struggles is caring way too much what people think of me. What will they think of my work, my new haircut, the fact that I wear socks with Crocs? And I think this is a very human emotion. Deep down, we all want to be liked, we want to fit in. But it's almost a little narcissistic to think that everyone's spending their time thinking about you, let alone care enough to judge you. For me, making videos on YouTube is still an insecurity. I feel pretty vulnerable. I've spent time wondering if random people I've met watch my videos and think they're cringe. But only a handful of people have ever even brought them up, and they've only said positive things. When it comes to the limited amount of people in my life I really care about, my closest friends and family, there are very few things they could do that would really alter my opinion of them in a negative way. They can pursue whatever career they want, live whatever lifestyle they want, take risks, fail, try new things, and I'll respect their decision because they're great people and I want them to be happy. So if you're gonna make up any assumptions, assume that people want that for you as well. Which goes into my next point, which is don't worry about criticism from someone you wouldn't seek advice from. While the majority of people won't care, odds are if you leave the house and talk to other humans, they're gonna voice their opinions, and a lot of them suck. They're irrelevant. They have no idea what they're talking about, and you shouldn't lose sleep over them. Let's say you're in college playing football and you want to go pro, and people are telling you not to go for it. It doesn't matter what your professor thinks, your friend thinks, or a stranger on the internet thinks, because they don't know anything about professional football. But people like your coach, or maybe an uncle who played in the NFL, have insights. They know what they're talking about. And you should be humble enough to listen to any constructive criticism they have. Personally, I think my dad is a pretty smart guy. I trust his financial advice. He helped me pick out my first car. He knows a lot more than me about a lot of things. But if I was buying like a new camera, I would never ask for his advice because he's not an expert in that field. Or if I told you that your fashion sucks, don't listen to me. Ever. for any reason. Ever. Never let unqualified opinions live in your head rent-free. Alright, next up, I really wish someone had explained this to me earlier, but there are very few rules to life. I mean, yeah, you need to wear pants in public. You need to pay your taxes. That's all I got. But growing up, I saw my life very laid out for me, almost like instructions I had to follow. I assumed I'd graduate high school, go to college for exactly 4 years, get a 9-to-5 job, get married, have kids, live happily ever after. That's really not what happened to me or a lot of the people around me. One of my friends went to a trade school, another joined the military, another dropped out, my brother moved to another country. I decided to try freelancing. I spent a lot of my life terrified to deviate from the rules, the things I thought everyone had to do to be successful, when in reality most rules are self-imposed. Or they're someone else's definition of success that's been imposed on you. Your decisions will have consequences, and when I say that, some of those will be good, some of them will be bad. But I think one of the worst things you can do in life is deprive yourself of something you really want to try. I wish I'd internalized this sooner, but it's okay to be different, to make decisions that other people don't understand. You don't need to ask for anyone's permission because life isn't a race. You don't need to graduate, get married, buy a house, or land your dream job before anyone else, especially because we're all dealt completely different hands in life. I'm blessed in so many ways. I know I've gotten lucky a few times too, but I've also got dealt some doggy doo-doo hands. Most of my life, I've felt this immense pressure to keep up with everyone else, or if I'm being honest, get ahead of everyone else. In college especially, I was terrified of trying something new. God forbid I change majors or graduate late or take some time off from school. And I still find myself terrified of making the wrong decisions. Should I take this job or should I try to do something more fulfilling? Should I go on that trip or should I save more for retirement? That's not at all to say you shouldn't hustle and be very intentional with your decisions, but there's no scoreboard. And I think once I really internalized that I didn't have to hit all these milestones by a certain time in my life or my life was over, it just got better. All this to say, I wish I hadn't been so obsessed with some make-believe scoreboard, always comparing myself to others and at times feeling behind in life. I've made plenty of mistakes in my life and I know I'll make plenty more, but all I can do is play the hand I'm dealt, keep moving forward, and chase down the life I want.